PACE is top in the country for environmental law.
The difference between a school that offers some environmental studies and a school that specializes in environmental studies can be pretty enormous.
The environmental law program at PACE provides the best available legal training, educating and inspiring students to be effective counselors and advocates while conscious of their responsibility toward the Earth's resources.
Our law school was one of the very first in the world to start an environmental law program, and as a result, we are looked upon by law schools all over the world for guidance on developing their curriculum and their programs.
People like Nick Robinson, people like Bobby Kennedy, you look at the environmental faculty and it's just so incredibly accomplished.
They're the ones who have actually written the environmental statutes that we're now learning about and using to practice law.
While the academic programs provide a solid foundation in environmental law through clinics, externships, moot courts, and other hands-on experiences, students learn not only to think like a lawyer, but to become one.
Without a full judgment for everything, what's the court going to do if that's her position?
They're going to dismiss it.
That's exactly right.
Directed by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Carl Copeland, PACE Law School's award-winning Environmental Litigation Clinic immerses students in the representation of public interest groups, primarily Riverkeeper, which safeguards the Hudson River and its environment.
You always have either Bobby Kennedy Jr. or Dan Estrin with you when you're doing stuff in work, and they're always editing your papers for you, but you really handle that case. You sit first chair, that case is yours.
Students advise governments on energy efficiency reforms with the PACE Energy Project, train zoning and development officials in sound land use practices and dispute resolution through the PACE Land Use Law Center, and serve in state and federal agencies through our PACE externship programs.
I worked at a nonprofit in DC last summer, and this summer I'm going back up to Alaska to work on various marine resources and natural resources issues like timber and oil resources in Alaska.
I am clerking next year for the DC Court of Appeals. It's sort of a culmination of my whole law school experience because I worked in DC my first summer through the environmental externship program down there.
We then have students working as externs in diplomatic missions at the United Nations, where they work as attachés doing environmental law work.
Our Comparative Environmental Law Studies program sends students around the globe to Europe, Asia, and South America.
We have a fantastic program in Brazil where the students take an academic course in comparative Brazilian environmental law in the spring. And then right after graduation for 2 weeks, they go to Brazil, to Rio de Janeiro, for classes there taught by Brazilian lawyers.
They see environmental law in a developing country, how it works. We've traveled to all parts of the Amazon, to the Mato Grosso, to Sao Paulo, to Rio, to the Casa Verde. We've also established a joint degree program with the Yale University, the School of Forestry and Environmental Sciences. So our students can take a master's in environmental management and a Juris Doctor, a law degree in environmental law. And this set of credentials has been very useful to our graduates.
PACE was actually the only law school I really wanted to go to because of its joint program with Yale.
When I looked around and saw others who were really trying to specialize in land use and environmental law, I felt like I was at least a year or two ahead of them. And I honestly believe that's one of the reasons why I was able to transition into a partner at an age that I did.
We actually work on a real-life matter, so you have this practical experience, so when you come into a law firm, you can hit the ground running because you've got that experience through PACE University.
But it's always exciting and it's always invigorating, and we all really believe in what we're doing, and boy, there's really nothing better than that.